Started. Whatever. So basically, this is gonna be a filler. This is gonna be the reverse world. This is gonna be a pretty good one. So one day, all 9 Genin, well, not Genin now, all 9 Jonin. They're not all older. They're all in like their teen stage, where they're all super ultra powerful. For some reason, when they're all eating barbecue at the store, at the restaurant, a giant black hole rips open. Well, it's not giant. It's big enough to fit like a person in there. But out of nowhere, they all get sucked into it, and then bloop, they all fall into a random room where they see themselves, but different. Like and then Naruto's like, "Why is Sakura simping?" And then he's like, "Wait a minute, me? And huh?" So when they hit the ground, Hinata's like, "What the hell is going on?" And Menma immediately activates his QB form. Riven's like, "Ah, shoot." Immediately, while the rest of the Geniners, Ino, Hinata, Kiba, Shino, Sakura, Izuna, and Izumi are all confused. They're like, "What the heck?" Men would immediately rush up to them and say, "What are you doing?" And put a kunai up to them, saying, and Hinata, and the other Hinata, you know, like the reverse world Hinata, would say, "Yeah, Menma, you get him." But then out of nowhere behind Menma, Christian appears and says, "Don't move. It's for your own good." Menma says, "How did you get behind me?" Christian says, "Flying Raijin, idiot." And then just kicks Menma across the room and says, "Come on, let's all get along. We're all the same." And activates the eternal Mangekyo Ultimagon, staring almost everyone in the room, except for Sasuke and Naruto, of course, because, well, it's Sasuke and Naruto. Even Menma gets a little shiver down his spine. He's like a spooky, scary skeleton, shivers down your spine. He's like, and then Christian just says, "Let's go check out this leaf village. Let's not focus on them." And no one realizes their other selves. They're like, whatever. And they just all dip. Out of nowhere, all the other Genin from the reverse, all the other ninja from the reverse world, they're like, who are you guys? And this Christian is not going to be all angry. Not all angry, but like, not as strong. And neither is the Sasuke. Christian says, "Let me sense their chakras to see who's the strongest and who's the weakest." Christian says, "Oh, come on!" And Sasuke, both Christian and Sasuke say, "Come on! Why?" Everyone goes, "What? Why does Naruto get the stronger reverse world person than we do?" Sasuke and Christian from the reverse say, "Yes, we are. We're stronger." Menma says, "Nay, not." And then Kiba goes, "Shots fired." And then everyone just starts laughing. They go to meet the reverse selves. Sasuke says, "Hey, weakling." Sasuke from the reverse world activates his Sharingan and says, "What?" Sasuke would activate his Rinnegan and say, "I said weakling." Then Sasuke would get all his scared mode thingy. Christian would say, "So, you're the weakling of me." Christian says, "Do you want to go?" When he's about to say, "You want to fight?" Christian puts him in a Genjutsu. And Izumi and Izuna are like, "What the heck just happened?" Reverse Izuna and Izumi. "What'd you do?" He said, "Put him in a Genjutsu." They're like, "Damn!" They're like, "Damn!" They're like, "How the hell did he do that?" He's like, "Whatever, let's just get this over with. How'd we get here?" Naruto says, "Hey, I have something fun to do while we can take off time. How about we Then Sasuke, other thing Sasuke says, have a tournament to see. Let's have a battle against each other to see which guy is stronger. Naruto says, I was gonna say we can go have some fun, but fighting sounds fun. We couldn't use some training. They say, all right, whatever. So the first battle is President Hinata versus the other Hinata, you know, like the angry one who's always angry at like Sasuke or something. And really, it's a tie, because Hinata would just get insulted the entire time, saying how she's a failure to the Hyuga clan and all that crap. And then other Neji would say, Lady Hinata, that is not how you talk to people. And she'd just go in her smug mode and be like, nah. He'd be like, nah. And I just addressed Hinata as a guy. Sorry about that. Even though there is a Hinata, and there's a Hinata and a Hinata. Whatever. We're not going into other anime. So basically, the next match would be Kiba versus Kiba. This match would just be President Kiba destroying him. The next match would be President Izuma versus other Izuma. And President Izuma would just body him because it's President Izuma. What do you expect? The guy has 10 Seiga on chakra mode. I'm pretty sure this guy's strong enough to body someone. Christian would say, what boring matches. I thought you guys were supposed to be strong. I think the only interesting one is going to be Naruto versus Menma. I don't think that's going to be too interesting. Hinata, other Hinata, because you better watch it. Menma's the strongest. And Christian says, huh? With a smug face saying, alright, Naruto, wanna switch? Naruto says, sure, I don't want to fight him. I don't want to fight myself. That's boring. Also, isn't that gonna hurt me, technically, if I hurt myself? Christian says, nah. So, I got this. So, when the match begins, it's Naruto versus Fake Christian, and Naruto would absolutely destroy him because it's Fake Christian. He's not strong. He's the weakest one in the Ultimate Clan. It's behind one more person, which I don't want to address. He is absolutely insanely powerful. He's like, Naruto would just body him, and Christian would say, alright, guess it's me versus Menma. Alright. He looks at the passing on and says, get ready for a sweep. This is not even going to be a problem for me. Christian would just power up into his new power. He wouldn't actually. He'd just activate the Ultimate God and say, alright, let's get this over with, Menma. Menma would say, you don't really seem interested in fighting. He says, no, I don't. Why would I want to fight someone who's way weaker than me? Legit, I read your power. It's barely even better than Naruto was when he first got back to the village. Naruto says, he's that weak? He says, nah, I'm just kidding, man. He's as strong as you in your Kurama Link mode too. Not as strong as you in your 6-pass Sage mode, so don't bother using that or else it'll just be a sweep. Christian would say, let's go. And his eyes would turn into a plus sign. And they're all like, he didn't change at all. Christian would blitz right in front of Menma and say, goodbye. And one punch man him and send him into a wall. Menma would get right back up and activate the QB eyes and say, I'm not done. Then he'd go into KCM2. Christian's like, oh, now he's as strong as you. So, Naruto, he's as strong as you and you're full power. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, I guess I underestimated him. A tiny bit. But whatever, I don't care. He's not even strong, if anything. I could body him with no effort. But I'm going to use effort, since it's good to give your opponents a good match. But, frick it. All the reverse where people say, you do a lot of talk, but yet you can't show any of it. Britain says, bruh, I just sent your strongest guy into a wall with no effort. Kiba says, how do we know you didn't use any effort? I don't feel tired. Plus, this is why. He activates into 6-pass Ultimate God mode. 6 past Sage Ultimagon, saying, one punching Menma up in the sky, then saying, have I proven myself? They say, no. He just throws a kunai up in the air and says, Menma, dodge it! Christian would appear right behind Menma and say, you're a failure. And slam his fist into Menma's skull, sending him down, being like, bruh, you weak ass. I've never seen someone as weak as you. You are a disgrace. You are nothing close to Naruto. You are not even close to Naruto's full power. I must have underestimated. I almost overestimated you. Now that's a me problem. Christian would say, oh, when are you gonna get serious? I'm bored. Menma says, ah, and transforms into Kurama. Christian says, that's cute. And goes into Susanoo full body, countering the size of the Nine Tails by like a giant amount, saying, are we done here? Kurama's like, kid, we have no chance of beating him. He says, let's do it, Kurama. He's like, oh, I hate you, kid. Christian would say, appearing, and these two would clash, but if at the end Christian Susanoo would prevail, saying, you are a waste of my time. Saying, maybe I'll do this. Maybe I can try and get us back. He'd bite his finger and summon the 11 tails. And nothing pops up. He's like, ah, dang it! Now I'm stuck with these idiots. Not you guys, past people. These idiots. This guy can't fight. He can barely do crap. His arm is broken. This is so boring. So, you know what? I'm gonna go look for the strongest shinobi. Christian would jump up in the air. Jump all the way towards the thing. And, Hinata, all the reverse world people, except for Menma, because he's knocked out, would say, is he always like that? They say, nope. Never. He never, until he actually finds a challenge, he's like that, actually. They're like, alright, well, this is gonna be bad. We gotta go find him a challenge. They say, how about the Hokage? That could work. Menma suggests, how about my dad? Naruto says, Minato? He says, how do you know my dad? He says, dumb. He says, dumbass. We have legit the same dad. It's just I'm from a reverse world, and my dad was the Hokage, and my dad is also dead in that timeline. He's like, oh. Naruto just gets angered thinking of him. He's like, Christian says, whatever. Christian puts into the Hokage microphone, because Tsunade has a giant microphone that lets you talk to the entire village. Christian would say in the microphone, hey, anyone in the Leaf Village, come to the top of the Hokage Tower if you want to fight me, because I am very bored, and yeah, just come to the Hokage Tower, you weaklings. So many people would come. Minato would, well, actually, like, 5 people came. Minato, Menma would come again for his revenge. Minato would be like, Menma, what happened to you? He's saying, that guy absolutely wrecked me. I didn't even get a chance to strike. He absolutely wrecked. Minato says, I got this. Fugaku, Itachi, and Tsunade would come. He'd be like, alright, some challenge! Hooray, some challenge! He starts to dance around saying, finally! Yes! They're like, yeah, they're dead. And the rest of them say, what? Why are they dead? Those are the strongest in the Leaf Village. He says, yeah, well, he's one of the strongest shinobi in the world. He's like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, in our timeline, him, Sasuke, and Naruto destroyed Madara Uchiha. Is that, and then they say, is that a fruit? Everyone else says, and everyone just face palms and say, idiots. So the battle would begin. Chris would choose one person. He says, alright, let me pick off the weakest. Menma, get over here. Now. He's like, alright then, let's go. Chris would activate 6-pass Sage Mode Ultimagon, and he'd one-shot Menma. Like, legit one-shot him. And it's like, oh crap, I'm doomed. Minato would be like, whatever, you knocked out my son, I'll get revenge. Fugaku's like, Itachi, your turn. So Itachi would go and Chris would say, alright, whatever. Itachi, you're down. He'd blush right behind Itachi and punch him in the face. But that wouldn't really send Itachi far up because Christian didn't want him to. And then Christian would grab Itachi's face and then start Chidoriing through his face. But then he'd stop halfway through and then regen his face full on. Like, that's a little vicious, I know. But he just is not happy with how weak everyone in this Leaf Village is. He says, I bet you one person could have taken me on, but I guess it's not really like... I guess it's just not like that! So he just bodies Itachi. Like, seriously. Next is Fugaku. Fugaku just gets wrecked. Okay, look, I'm not even gonna explain the Minato fight, because he also gets wrecked. Saying, oh, whatever. Christian would say, I'm not even gonna fight them, because I know they're weak, so... Whatever. He just throws a kunai slash past Minato, and he's like, my kunai! Christian would appear right behind him, and then and then punch him forward. Saying, is that all you got, Yellow Flash? Saying, and then throw another kunai right behind me. So he's like, what the? Then he'd say, Flying Reggie, level 2. He's like, how do you know the Flying Reggie? Flying Reggie? And then gets sent down flying. Christian says, this is boring. I never want to see this face of the village again. Whatever. Looks like, guys, I have an idea on how we can escape. We say, how? I think if we rip open a space and time portal with our own powers, that might work. Christian says, first, let's see what their strongest attacks. Remember, would say, we're floating up to the sky, saying, Great Rasen Ring! Absolutely nuking where he is. Christian's like, alright, that was the strongest attack. Sasuke, Naruto, show him your attacks. Naruto would say, Tail Beast Bomb! Oh, he'd say, Tail Beast Rasen Shuriken! Exploding more land than Memma did. Sasuke would say, Tomikachi no Kami! And just destroy everything. Christian would say, I was weak. And they're like, what? He's like, that was horrible. And back then, that wasn't even my full power Susanoo. That was like 500 times smaller than my normal one. Naruto and Sasuke go, wait, he upgraded his Susanoo that much? Christian goes, ah! People from the Cloud Village can see him. He goes, ah! And that's it. His Susanoo was as big as the village. And then he grabs his sword and says, I could break through the Earth's core if I wanted to. But then he says, eat this, Chidori! And rams it into the ground, exploding in entire landscapes. Like that's like 500 times bigger than Naruto's and Sasuke's combined. And Menma's combined. He's like, combined Rex. Let's get back to the video. So, basically what would happen next is pretty normal, but it's also not pretty normal. So basically so he says, alright, well if that's our max attacks, then we're gonna have a ginormous non-problem. I'm gonna need all of us to combine our attacks to make the biggest attack. He says, yo, 2 Sakuras. They go, yes? What's your strongest punch against the ground? They show, and he's like, wow, That's good. Alright, let's all go. Punching the ground. Everyone is just using their maximum attacks to rip a hole in space and time. And then once it does, the rest of them get sucked in except for the reverse world people. They go, yes, we finally did it! And that's it for part 15.